Sometimes I pick a tactic for the formation. Sometimes I pick a tactic for the personality. Sometimes it's for the name. Sometimes it's just for what the heck am I looking at? Can you figure out what this one is? This one is called the 4-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1, however many ones that is. It looks like a fairly somewhat standard 4-2-3-1, so I am unfortunately not sure why a bunch of ones are in there. This does have no information, no description, no images, no anything, unfortunately. So we're just going to take a look at it. It is from the Steam Workshop, but we're going to look at it with our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So with all that said, let's figure out what this one is and how it did for our teams. Well, as we take a look at the Premier League table, you can see Liverpool in 87 points. 81 goals is actually a little bit lower than what we'd expect for having 87 points. At least have it on par, if not higher. 87 points is actually a little bit higher than usual. About 85 is where they usually get. 64 for Aston Villa is lower, 60 goals. Yeah, the attacking side doesn't seem like it's all there just yet. Now, I'm showing you this for Liverpool because of the amount of green that you can see. They did very well. Unfortunately, out in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, 0-1 against Bournemouth, but green and yellow all throughout. Europa League quarterfinals, you get through Real San Sebastian, you pass Aston Villa in the semifinals, you get to the league final, the Europa League final, and you win against Atalanta 3-0, but right after, you lose in penalties to Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup final. So overall for Liverpool, third place is not great, but you're only 4 points off of Tottenham in first. Tottenham in first, really. But Premier League's not bad. Europa League winners, fantastic. FA Cup runners-up, not too bad. Quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, I can't say it's a bad season. But you don't get a lot in the green, and it shows. 22 goals for Salah, 21 for Nunez, assists 13 for Robertson, Zoboslai, and McAllister, 12 for Salah, and then average rating Salah, of course, tops with 727, which is actually kind of low. We shall go regular for Aston Villa's schedule, but Carabao Cup third round, 0-3 against Tottenham immediately. FA Cup semis we already saw against Liverpool, 0-1. But they do get to the Europa Conference League final and beat Rennes 3-1. That's a trophy. All in all for Aston Villa, 7th place is not great. They do get Europa League next season, which is fantastic, through that Europa Conference League winner. Semifinals of the FA Cup is pretty nice, even though they did lose out to Liverpool, and third round is pretty abysmal in the Carabao Cup. Squad-wise, they're getting close to what Liverpool had in the green, but goals. 14 for Ramsey is the top, 13 for Diaby. That's not great. 16 assists for Digne, and average rating, Digne with a 713. Data hub for Liverpool defensively is 3. I mean, it's pretty much standard. You're getting there with the fouls per game, though. But attacking-wise, they just don't have the numbers. They do have dribbles. Goals per game, though, only 2.13, which is pretty low for them. 0.76 conceded, 0.87 XG against is pretty normal. Aston Villa doesn't look like they did a great job attacking-wise. They've got the dribbles, but everything else is just really low. Defensively, they are missing a couple of pieces, but 1.58 goals per game is definitely low for them. 1.13 conceded, 1.11 XG against is actually not too bad for them. Premier League stats, Liverpool in third with 2.29 points per game, Aston Villa in seventh with 1.68. Most goals, Liverpool in third with 81. I mean, you are 11 down from Man City, but Aston Villa with 60. That's kind of low. Fewest shots against, Liverpool tied for second with 268, Aston Villa in seventh with 366. Most dribbles made, Aston Villa in first with 754, 722 for Liverpool, and most shots for Liverpool in sixth with only 469, 402 for Aston Villa. But let's switch over to Ipswich Town and see how they did. Fourth place, not the greatest. We've definitely seen better. They didn't get promoted. This is kind of the new norm to a degree. A lot of the tactics that we've seen gets them into the playoffs at least, but they don't get through the playoffs. They really just stink at the playoffs. Only a handful of times have they gotten through. But 88 points, 92 goals. They do have more goals than points, which is not bad, but overall, Out immediately against Stevenage, 0-1 in the Carabao Cup first round, but out in the FA Cup fifth round against Sheffield United. So all in all, not the greatest of seasons. I didn't show this, but they lost out to Stoke 1-0 in the playoff. But everything else is just whatever. And only 4 in the green, of course. 16 goals for Connor Chaplin, Broadhead with 11, Hurst with 10. He gets in the double digits at least. 17 assists for Leif Davis. And average rating, of course, Leif Davis on tops with 714. Championship stats, Ipswich in fifth with 1.8 points per game. Most goals in third with 97. Fewest shots against in sixth with 415. Most dribbles made in second with 942. And most shots for in eighth, wow, with 537. But now let us jump into this 4-2-3-1, 4-1-1-1-1-1-1-1, whatever the heck you want to call it. But a sweeper keeper in defend is where we start. Wing back on the left in attack, one in defend on the right, ball playing defender in defend on the left side, ball playing defender in cover on the right, DM in defend, somewhat next to a ball winning midfielder in support, advanced playmaker in attack on the left, a winger in attack on the right, an advanced playmaker in attack in the central spots, and an advanced forward in attack up front. Balanced mentality, in possession attacking width is fairly wide, approach plays pass into space, passing directness is shorter, tempo is slightly higher, low crosses, work the ball in the box, play for set pieces and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, slow pace down, distribute to the flanks. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a lower defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent your goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, and drop off more. So how did it do for our three teams? I mean, sort of. They used a lot of different tactics, a lot of different little pieces in the tactics that we don't generally see a lot to distribute to the flanks and things like that. Work the ball in the box as well as play for set pieces. There are things that you can glean from this. I mean, no one did really poorly like some of the other tactics have done. But all in all, I think we've gotten 4-2-3-1s that have worked a little bit better. But now this one seems geared more towards, certain sides. So, having a left side that can attack more, a right side that can cover more. The problem here is attacking wise, it just didn't seem to work for any of the teams. A lot of the numbers are just really low. The shots on target are really low. And that's with work the ball in the box. So I think you got to keep things in mind. If you have a really attacking squad, this might not be for you. This might be more for the middle table sides that kind of want to stay up and kind of do okay, but not have that attacking prowess that a Liverpool and Man City might have. But again, I mean, it did work for Ipswich Town. It got them into the playoffs. Liverpool and Aston Villa, they got, Europa League for Aston Villa next season. Liverpool in third, not too far off from first. So I don't think it did any wonders for these teams, but it definitely didn't hurt them all that much. But that is it for me, 7FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.